Welcome to the Butterfly Effect. I'm Chris Horner, and this is part 2 of today's Sunday Butterfly Effect coverage of all the bike racing going on. Now, yesterday's stage 6 of Tirreno-Adriatico is what I would like to cover here because there was just knuckleheads all over the place. There's no way I cannot cover yesterday's stage 6 of Tirreno-Adriatico with what I saw from Yumbo Visma, UAE Team Emirates were both knuckleheads. Both those teams just absolutely catastrophic on how they rode yesterday's stage 6 of Tirreno-Adriatico. Now let's get into it. We're about 50 kilometers to go. We got the whole Yumbo Visma squad, 6 guys on the front there driving it. They're about ready to bring back a break up front, a very dangerous, solid group of riders up front. And they're going to bring them back with just under 45 kilometers to go. And once we see him go through, Thies Benoot is still in the group. We just lose Koen Bouwman off the back, so Jumbo Visma still have 5 guys in the front. They have Valters, they have Thies Benoot, they have Wilco Kelderman, Primoz Roglic, and of course Wout van Aert. The amazing Wout van Aert is in this front group. He is so unbelievably strong. But what a knucklehead too. Now, as we see the groups getting caught, Wout van Aert's going to go to the front. I don't have any idea what he's doing. It's 40 kilometers still to go in the race, and he's still got other teammates that look like they're strong enough to keep riding. Remember, this is almost a 200-kilometer stage, so it could be Thies Benoot or Valters back there could be getting tired, but at this point in time, they were still at the front of the race, and Wout van Aert just goes to the front and blows the field up to pieces. He's got Primoz Roglic on his wheel. I have never seen something like this happen for this reason. It doesn't make any sense. You're going from a 5-man team down to a 3-man team with Wilco Kelderman and Primoz Roglic, the only 2 riders, and Wilco Kelderman, who knows how far he can go into today's stage. Now, we see Wout van Aert still driving it on the front. Then all of a sudden, there's a little sit-up there as we see everyone's coming up to the roundabout, and Wout van Aert's off the front. Wilco Kelderman was on the front just before this for a few seconds and then sat up. We'll see him at the front. When they go through the traffic furniture roundabout, whatever you want to call this, what it looks like in the picture, as we come out, Wout van Aert's taking the front of the breakaway GC favorites here, what's left of the peloton. As he's pulling, all of a sudden we see Wilco Kelderman, the 3rd rider left for Jumbo Visma, and it's Michael Woods from Israel Premier Tech as Wilco Kelderman's looking over his left. Michael Woods takes out the front tire there of Wilco Kelderman. Now, to be fair, Wilco Kelderman's a little bit at fault because he looks left and he moves just a little bit, but I think just a couple inches. I'm going to blame Michael Woods here because Woods causes a ton of crashes, and I know he's crashed me before, so I'm going to blame Michael Woods anyways at this moment for being too close as he's coming across the front wheel there of Wilco Kelderman. When Wilco Kelderman looks straight, all of a sudden he's locked up into the back wheel of Michael Woods, and then we see Wilco Kelderman go down hard. Now, that's going to leave only 2 riders left for Jumbo Visma, Wout van Aert and, of course, Primoz Roglic. Wout's still driving at 100%. Now we look at the aerial view. You see Julian Alaphilippe. He's coming up to the front, right side there of Wout van Aert. Looks over him, and you know he's saying, Wout, your guy crashed back there. Shut it down. Wout van Aert just gives a little nudge like this, and he keeps going on the gas. Now we're about 35 kilometers to go, and as I'm sitting on the couch at the Chesterfield, I'm thinking, man, wow, what are you doing? Are you going to ride the whole next 35 kilometers? Because remember, Wout didn't come into Tirreno-Adriatico with spectacular form. He was coming off of some altitude training where he was sick before that. And now I'm thinking, how are you planning on riding 35 kilometers all the way to the finish? Well, Wout keeps riding on the front. When we see him go over the little bit of a KOM there just after 35 kilometers, when we look back down to see the damage that's being done to all the GC favorites and to Jumbo Visma teammates back there, we'll see Thies Benoot come over, and then Valters is even further back down the road than Thies Benoot. So we know Wout van Aert, Primoz Roglic are probably on their own at the front. Wout better do something super, and I'm thinking, why would you want to blow it up? Maybe he thought it was the last lap, I don't know, but he is a complete knucklehead at this moment. All of a sudden, Wout van Aert's on the front. Next thing you know, Wout van Aert's off the front with one other rider from Intermarché. What's happening? I'm losing my hair right here. Primož Roglic, the race leader in the blue jersey, the teammate of Wout van Aert, is in the back with the other GC favorites, isolated all by himself, and Wout van Aert's going up the road. Well, that group gets pulled back quite quickly, and then all of a sudden the cameras go blank as we lose the picture. When it comes back on, Tiesj Benoot's on the front of the peloton. He was in the second, third group back there, going all the way up to the second, and then getting back up to the front riders. Now he's pulling on the front as hard as he can, and then all of a sudden we start seeing some attacks from Guillaume Martin Cofidis. He's got some company because Vlasov, who's a threat on the general classification, only 21 seconds down on Primož Roglic's blue jersey. He's in this move, and two Movistar riders are in there, Verona and Aaron Burrow, with four riders up front, two at 2 minutes and 20 seconds down on GC, and one Vlasov at 20 seconds. This group of four is going full gas. Now we look back there. Tiesj Benoot's on the front, but what can Tiesj Benoot do up here? Remember, Wout van Aert just blew his legs up back there going up the climb for no reason whatsoever. I'm thinking these guys are in trouble. Finally, Yumbo Visma's ridiculous tactical moves are going to fold everything, and they're going to lose the blue jersey here. And then just as I start thinking that, we see Primož Roglic coming up talking to Wout van Aert. Wout van Aert will do one more pull at the front. And then after that, guess what? With 22 kilometers to go, UAE Team Emirates Davide Formolo, the Italian rider, he gets on the front and starts driving it 100%. I don't know what's going on. I really have no idea what UAE are thinking at this moment. Let me get this straight. Tiesj Benoot's in the front group pulling. Wout van Aert's not even pulling. He's sitting on with Primož Roglic, the number 2 best rider in the world. No, it's not Jonas Vingegaard, it's Primož Roglic. We all know he's number 2, or you should know it, because now he's proven it again to everybody over and over and over again that Primož Roglic is number 2 best rider in the world. But UAE Team Emirates, you're going to ride on the front still when they got Wout van Aert sitting on. So Davide Formolo's on the front. Tiesj Benoot's pulling 100% with everything he's got left, but he's got one leg in the grave from Wout van Aert's big efforts back there at 40 kilometers to go, dropping him off the back, and then him having to bridge back up with the other guys to get up to this front group with about 15 kilometers to go. That's it for Tiesj Benoot. He's going to pull the plug, pull out hard, stage right, and drop anchor here on stage 6 of Tirreno-Adriatico. Now we look at the 4 guys up front. That gap's going out to about 30 seconds. Davide Formolo got it down within to about 20 seconds, but then he dropped his chain shortly after Tiesj Benoot had dropped out of the group, and now the time gap's starting to go back up. With 8 kilometers to go, this is when Ineos are going to get to the front. I'm going to call you guys some knuckleheads too, man. What are you getting on the front for? Wout van Aert hasn't even been pulling. Primož Roglic is sitting back there getting a free ride. Okay, I'm going to give Ineos a little bit, a tiny bit of room here, because there's some wind blowing from the left side to the right side of the road as the gap was starting to get out to about 30 seconds. But imagine if you just made Wout get up there and have to close the gap instead of you guys closing the gap, and you just stayed in echelon mode just behind. Yumbo Visma's train up front would be the same outcome, except for now Primož Roglic might have to do some work at front. Now we see with 5 kilometers to go, UAE Team Emirates, it looks like it's Adam Yates back there that's trying to close the gap up to the 4 leaders still as he's driving at 100%. He's got Primož Roglic on his wheel. So Davide Formolo is going to pull Primož Roglic around. Now it's Yates pulling around. Then we look to the right side of the road. It's Almeida that throws in a big-time acceleration on the right side of the road as they're catching the 4 guys in front that are left here with stage 8 and just about 5 kilometers to go. Almeida's throwing down hard, and then we see Mikel Landa, Bahrain victorious. This was the next brilliant move here from the riders in the GC favorites here as Mikel Landa's got clean separation from Primož Roglic and Yumbo Visma as he's trying to win here at stage 6 of Tirreno-Adriatico and do something on the general classification. Now as he's going up there, guess who's pulling him back? It's Almeida back there that's doing a full block, pulling Mikel Landa back with Primož Roglic on his wheel. We get back up into the town as it starts getting steep and hard. Mikel Landa's all the way against the fencing. Almeida's all the way on the right side. They're going full gas, and everybody's just pulling Primož Roglic along. Landa does one more acceleration as they're coming off the brick road. As the road turns to the left, it starts dropping down. Then we look at the camera. It's Almeida back there again for UAE Team Emirates pulling Primož Roglic back up to Landa. It'll all come back together with about 2 kilometers to go. Michael Woods throws in a massive attack across the right side of the road. He starts going solo as they make the right turn to start another steep ramp up to the finish here. It's Woods in the front with about a 5-second gap. He's getting chased from behind though. Again, Almeida's on the front. Primoz Roglic, for the first time in this stage, will have to do a little bit of work at the front as he's closing the gap to Michael Woods. He pulls maybe a few hundred meters here, closes the gap, keeps himself at the front, going under 1K to go. And then as he's got the front still before 700 meters, it's Theo Gegenhardt and Enric Mas that are coming to the front as they make the left turn with 600 meters to go. It's going to narrow up, so Theo Gegenhardt wants to be at the front, but I don't want to be first rider here with 700 meters still to go. Theo Gegenhardt's at the front. Enric Mas realizes he slots behind. Then as the hill starts to get steeper to the finish, Mas throws in a massive attack. Theo Gegenhardt starts to follow. Primoz Roglic is on his wheel. They caress the top. Primoz Roglic is in second position on Mas's wheel. Theo Gegenhardt's getting ready to start a sprint from the back, but Mas puts everyone into the fencing. This locks up the break for Theo Gegenhardt as Mas tries one more acceleration to the line. He can't hold off Primoz Roglic coming around the right side, who wins 3 stages back to back to back here at Tirreno-Adriatico and defends the race leader's blue jersey today. I guess he didn't have to defend it. UAE Team Emirates, the bunch of knuckleheads they are, they did all the defending for Primoz Roglic. He barely even had to touch the front except for a couple 100 meters here or there, and then right here at the line before he crossed the line for his 3rd race victory here at Tirreno-Adriatico. Now, this was absolutely knuckleheadism from Wout van Aert. And the biggest knucklehead race I think I've ever witnessed has to be stage 6 of last year's 2022 Tour de France, when Wout van Aert, in the race leader's yellow jersey, is going solo up the road with 4 teams chasing him back there. And Yumbo Visma, for some reason, not wanting to ride the front at all during stage 6, just sent Wout van Aert up there to basically destroy his legs, lose the jersey, give up time bonuses to Tadej Pogacar on that stage for no reason whatsoever. I mean, they rode every stage before stage 6. They rode every stage on the front after stage 6. Why don't you just ride stage 6, keep the jersey, win stage 6 of the Tour de France, and keep the time bonuses away from Tadej Pogacar, and just wrap it up and go into the next stage while wearing the race leader's yellow jersey when you start Planche de Belfi? I didn't understand that stage. That was the biggest knuckleheadism stage I've ever witnessed in my life. And this was the second, and it was Wout van Aert doing it again. Because why you would want to drop all of your teammates for no reason and go up there and just hope that UAE Team Emirates get on the front, hope that Ineos get on the front because they're knuckleheads too, and then hope that UAE Team Emirates Almeida is just willing to pull Primoz Roglic all the way to the finish so he can get onto the podium. Dude, I don't care about getting onto the podium. Afterwards, in the interview for Almeida, he's talking about how proud he was and how good he felt and that he got himself on the podium and second was the best he can do. Man, why didn't you just leave Vlasov up there? Because I got a ton of respect for Bora Hansgrohe that threw Alexander Vlasov up there trying to win the general classification, and just sit back there for your UAE Team Emirates. That'll get you second on the podium too. You sit back there, let Primoz Roglic actually have to defend his jersey, then drop him going up the climb. You still finish second, and maybe you catch Vlasov and win the general classification here at Tirreno-Adriatico. Instead, all I saw was a bunch of scared guys that took the rest over crumbs, talking about Almeida, that is, the crumbs left here at Tirreno-Adriatico to get himself up on the podium, while I got much more respect for a rider like Vlasov that just went all in to try to win the general classification. Can you imagine Almeida's story when he gets home? And everyone's like, great job getting second. How'd you do it? Well, I pulled Primoz Roglic around all day because I knew there was no chance to win the general classification. But I dropped a couple Bora guys back there, and I dropped Vlasov, who was really throwing in big-time effort, really just the biggest huevos you ever saw back there, with Vlasov going in deep to win the general classification. I just pulled Primoz around all day long, but I got myself second on the general classification. That's a terrible story there to tell, that you pulled Primoz all the way to the finish, but you got second and Primoz won the stage. Knuckleheadism all over the place from UAE Team Emirates, but nobody's bigger than Wout van Aert for blowing up your own team here on stage 6 of Tirreno-Adriatico. Hope you guys enjoyed my take here. That stage was absolutely crazy, and Wout van Aert, you're first and second on the knuckleheadism list. probably still miles ahead of Marc Soler, when the Solerism moves always occur throughout the Tour de France and just about anywhere where Marc races. But Wout van Aert, you take the top of the cake here on the Butterfly Effect. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next edition real soon.